Welcome, everybody, to the next episode of Chiefs Focus First and 10. You are here with JP and Caleb on a very eventful 2 days in the kingdom. What's up, brother?
I'm doing good, good man. How are you doing?
I'm
You sound a
okay.
little happy over there. Are you laughing?
I,
I don't
I,
know what's going
I,
on.
I you know what? Uh, I, I don't even know what to say at this point. I'm just, I don't know, brother. A lot of things went on. A lot of things were said. A lot of radio stations went crazy today.
Mhm. I mean, I guess with the cat's out of the bag, I mean, it's about this article that was posted.
Yeah,
That's kind of what it is. You want to go and
yeah,
take it away then, man?
yeah. I mean, like I said, we have been talking about this since week 4. We never went into any type of detail like that. Um, for no reason, there's no reason to.
Mhm.
Uh, but anyway, uh, it looks like it's been deleted, from what I understand.
Yeah, it's
Um,
gone.
it's been deleted, and I actually called a couple of people to find out why, but not them, but others. Anyway, I have a feeling I know why, but regardless, that's not my problem. Just so everybody knows out there in Chiefs Kingdom, we had no part in that article.
No part.
I wanted to make sure
No
everybody
part.
knew that. I know we got a lot of people that backed us because they listened to our show and they know that we have been talking about internal situations with the Chiefs since about week 3, 4.
Yeah, about
And
3. Mhm.
uh, those situations, did some occur? Yes. Um, we talked about the ones that did.
Mhm.
Uh, we only talk about the facts. Uh, we don't elaborate on anything. We don't exaggerate on anything. Whatever it is, it is. Whatever we hear, we know is true, and we put it out. Uh, as far as anything else is concerned, I really don't know why people assumed. If they did, I'm not sure if they did or didn't. I had a lot of DMs asking me about it, and I had a lot of people on the public side asking me about it. But again, that was on their own accord, and uh, I really don't know where any of it came from. So there, as far as what I know, is what we said, and that's
Mhm.
we're usually pretty spot on when it comes to that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, and we leave it at that. So, uh, but apparently the story's gone, and it was deleted just not even 5 minutes ago,
Yeah,
actually.
right before we went on the before we record. And what's interesting is that this article comes out and people are saying this and that about the article, and then we have fellow people listen to our show. We're like, they've been talking about this for a long time. We've been saying this for a long time, and we didn't go into no detail. But some of the stuff you saw in that article is like makes no sense at all, especially when they're talking about how um oh they had what is it they had recordings or what
Something
is
about the
something they had
headsets and
recordings and I was
yeah,
like, I was confused, but it just shows that when we talk about stuff, we're going to put out stuff that we believe that's important, but we're not going to go overboard. And it seems like they went overboard, and I don't know. It sounds like they made up some stuff, but yeah, that article is gone. So I
yeah,
don't know what happened on their end with all that, but it just kind of shows me right there. Especially the they were getting slammed. So
yeah. Well, I had
I would
media
just
calling me up saying, "Hey, man, uh, is any of this true?"
yeah,
And
you have media friends calling you.
yeah, and I, I told them, what I told them what they listened to our podcast as well. I told them what we have talked about is what I know to be facts. I said, I don't know about anything that was put out in that article. I said, I haven't even read it. And at the time, I hadn't read it. I didn't even know it was out, to be honest with you. And he said, You haven't seen this? And he says, It's all over Twitter right now. And I said, No, I said, I haven't been on Twitter for the last hour and a half. So when I opened up my page and then I opened up our page, I'm like, What the hell just happened? And then I saw that. I didn't read it still. I got into about maybe the first paragraph and a half. And when I saw something that threw me for a loop, I just kind of stopped reading at that point. then I decided last night I wanted to read the whole thing just to see what was said. And then I got 2 more calls this morning from other media people.
Mhm.
And then yesterday I got a call from my friend at Arrowhead, and I didn't get a chance to talk to him yet, but I'm sure it had to do with that. I don't know what it, I mean. Look, whatever they said or whatever they didn't say, that's on them. Um, if they have their connections or sources or whatever it is,
There are any.
yeah, all I can say is that's better than anybody that's ever had sources. If that's the case, I I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, there's really not a whole lot to say about it. Again, we put out what we knew during the season, and we did say on our last show that there was an issue during halftime, um, which there was. We didn't go into big detail about it, but there was a few words exchanged. There was a couple things said. We talked about it on the show, and that was the extent of it. There were, I mean, they don't have enough time during halftime to have a knockdown, drag out, blowout for, that would normally take 30, 45 minutes in the 10 minutes that they have in the locker room. So there was words exchanged, things said, it was done and over with, and that was the extent of it. The team came out and they played very flat in the second half.
Mhm.
Most likely reason why is because of that, and among other things. But again, that's up to the Chiefs to say. That's not up to us. We don't put out things that we don't feel is appropriate for us to say, regardless if it is or isn't. And it's just not our style. So a couple of players went after them as well, and um, namely Tyreek Hill was one of them.
Mhm.
Um, that one, when there, I guess that one was more, I guess, fitting or comical if you really want to look at it, because this same type of story came out about Tyreek Hill back in 18. And it was after I had put out, I mean, 5 minutes after that story hit, I put out, stop, everybody stop bashing him. This is not true. Took me 2 phone calls, 1 phone call actually to know the truth, but I made 2. And I got another media guy calling me right now. Uh, but anyway,
I
I
think. Go ahead. Sorry.
no, go ahead. I'm
No, I'm
just
just
kind of,
saying it just shows we always try to do everything the right way. And we're not going to go put out some far fetched story. So we're always going to try to do everything we can do to help promote positivity. But seeing that was kind of like it was interesting for me was is to see all of our listeners come and say we've had this first, and we had even a couple people DM us JP, several
yeah,
people, and put another guy
larger
out.
outlets.
And we're
I mean,
like, yeah, we did have first. We have nothing to do with this article, but yeah, we've had this information. We just didn't go to the full length everyone else has because it's like you said, it's not really our purpose to put it out there like that, and just kind of see from that standpoint. So,
well,
I
we're only going to
mean,
put out the facts. We're not going to put out
yeah,
things that, you know, unless, again, if they've got the inside scoop on headsets and everything else, that's amazing. I don't
I
know.
found that kind of hard to get that, but yeah, like you said, they do. Oh well, I mean, good
Yeah, I mean, I
amazing.
don't know of anybody that's ever had that, ever, but, and that includes everyone, um, other than coaches, but, and the team itself. But, and I mean, when I say the team, I mean front office.
Mm-hmm.
But even one of the media guys that called me said, how's that even possible? And I said, it's not. I said, as far as I know, it's not. I said, I can't say that it is or isn't, but it's one of those things that,
Kind of what happens. I mean, I guess when
yeah,
you look at the end of the day.
yeah. I mean, there's narratives everywhere. There's, you know, the good and the bad and everything. And I just hope that, you know, whatever comes out of this, I hope it comes out good for the Chiefs. They need some stability, and there was instability. I mean, we talked about Sam Madison um, not coming back. We talked about that week 5. We knew that then. He's not coming back. He's already went to Miami. So
Yeah, like oh yeah, that's a prime example. You were saying there was no way Sam Madison will be back, and next thing you know, like you said, this Austin, he went to Miami, got a job there.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, you've been pretty spot on, man, and people have known that they've been listening to the podcast for a long time. So everybody knows when we say something, we're just not making something up out of the blue.
Yeah.
So just continue to keep listening to us. We try to do everything we can do, try to promote everything the right way. So that's
Yeah.
kind of what we do for that aspect.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a matter of being. You have to. I don't know. We're neither one of us are in that mindset of I guess taking the step that's going to hurt the team. And I'm not saying anything about their article or anything of that nature. I'm just saying it's not good to. It's not appropriate to put out things that, in my opinion, from our standpoint, that may be a detriment to the team. This has absolutely nothing to do with their article. They can put out whatever they want. It's their brand. It's their page, fan page, or whatever you want to call it. And that's on them. I'm not involved with them. Again, it's just something that they decided to put out, and more power to them. I mean, if they want to put it out, that's great. I don't know what happened to the article. I don't know why it was taken down. Somebody had said they had made revisions or corrections to the article 2 or 3 times during the day. I didn't look at their page. I don't know. But we just got word that it was taken down, and then that was it. So I really don't know what happened. And honestly, I don't care.
Just keep listening to what we have to say, because we always try to give you guys the best content available. And I mean, you guys said they had it first, which I mean, you're not wrong there. We did. So
yeah. So and I'm not, and again, what we had was about 25% of what was put out on that article. You guys can take it for what it is.
But we did not work with them. We're our own group.
Yeah, we're our own group.
We didn't give them anything. We don't know if they listen to our podcast. We don't know what they got or who they talk to.
Apparently they don't, because we were told by him on our page about 7 times that he doesn't listen to our podcast because he just doesn't have time to. Apparently, but it is what it is. Going from there, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with EB now.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see from this standpoint, because it's interesting from that standpoint because it shows up kind of what's come out, and it's kind of like what's going to happen. When is he going to get another job? I mean, he had a meeting with Andy on Sunday. I honestly, in my personal opinion, I think that bridge is gone. Just kind of, if he wants to get a head coaching job, he's going to have to go to another team, unfortunately.
Yeah.
To me, it makes no sense how someone can have 15 interviews and not get a job. So I don't know, like you said, there's something in the interview process you're not doing right. But to me, that makes no sense from that standpoint. But it's interesting from the standpoint to see what will happen from there. I mean, when you look at it in the day, there's a lot of different things that happen, but I think they're going to bring someone. And Matt Nagy, like you said, man, it's probably going to be the obvious choice. And I think you said this, I think was the week ago, JP?
Yeah,
was about last week
or the week before. Yeah, I said that Nagy was most likely going to be the one that comes back. But honestly, right now, looking at it from, if I'm on the outside, if I'm on the inside looking out, and what I mean by that is if I'm on the inside of the Chiefs front office and I'm looking out at all of this, from a PR standpoint, it's going to be difficult now. It's going to be very difficult for them to make a decision.
What they're going to do from that standpoint.
Yeah, what they're going to do from that standpoint now, just simply because of a PR standpoint. I don't know if that's going to change things or not. I don't see how it could. Mahomes put out a tweet about Nagy himself, saying Nagy drew up some wild plays, but they always worked. And he's right. I mean, they did always work. So maybe that's an answer. I don't know. Maybe that's the route that they plan on going. Again, or still, I should say.
Yeah.
he just
And a
put
lot of
that out
stuff.
actually yesterday
And a
or
lot
this
of stuff,
morning.
yeah, and a lot of stuff still can happen too. Now we'll see what the different steps are going to be taken, but from what I'm looking at, I feel personally they're going to move on and bring in someone new, especially after what's kind of already happened and what is true and what is not true, just to move on. Because if EB wants a head coaching job, he's probably gonna have to separate himself from the Chiefs. To me, it doesn't make any sense that he has not, 15 job interviews and nothing has gone through. So I don't know what's going on from that standpoint. But I still think that when you look at his numbers compared to like a Matt Nagy or Doug Peterson, he has done more and was able to get a coaching job, but they were. So I'm just going off a stat standpoint too.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, I think too that again, somebody had said um, to me that they, there was three things that were holding him back. One, and they're no particular order, but one is his past. He had numerous arrests for
Mm-hmm.
whatever the cases were. I don't know. And I'm not going to get into that because it's not my business either. But and then two, his interview style is pretty bad. And then three is that they don't really believe that it's him making the Chiefs who they are. They believe that it's Mahomes and Andy, and without them two coming with him, they don't know that he could get the job done with another team, or another quarterback, another head coach, or another OC. So, or team for that matter. But it's neither here nor there. Look, the guy. It's obvious that he has knowledge, and it's obvious that he belongs in the NFL. Now, to what extent, I I can't really say. Um, I will say that everybody I've talked to said that he has been different all year, and well, like I said, it started actually last year, but uh, it's been a strange situation for him, for the team, for Mahomes, for the offense in general.
Yep.
And the defense didn't, look, for everybody out there, the defense didn't have their, it wasn't all roses and butterflies for them either. They had issues with in their coaching staff that caused problems for Thornhill, and it caused problems for other players.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always things out there that happen. No team is perfect. We pride ourselves in being a very, I guess, outstanding organization for the most part,
Mm-hmm.
compared to most. I mean,
Yeah.
so, but you're never going to avoid conflict forever. I mean, we did a really good job of avoiding it for a long period of time with Andy being here. Andy's very calm, cool, and collected, and keeps himself and everyone else pretty much grounded. Um, so you can only, I guess you can only do so much, and then sometimes things run their course. People,
Exactly.
so it might just be that time where this year was kind of a telltale sign that you know uh, it may be time to move on. So, and it's still a very, very, very viable option for them to do that. Again, from a PR standpoint, I don't know how that's going to work out now. But again, we don't publicly write articles negatively or put out things on Twitter for a reason. And we do it on the podcast because we don't have, you know, we would love to have 1 million followers on our podcast, but we don't. So what we say goes to the people that listen to us. And we actually had a guy that DM'd us that said, we actually commend you because you hold back a lot of things. And I can tell you do because you don't want to hurt the team, and we can tell that you're telling the truth. Um, there's truth to that. I mean, we hold back because one, it's not our job to, if the PR department of the Chiefs wants something out, they will say it.
Yeah.
If they don't, they won't. Um, this is just a very strange situation. So, regardless, moving on.
Well, I would say one thing because I have a friend who's a Broncos fan. And he was trying to clown me, and he was trying to tell me, "Oh, listen, this about the article." And I was like, "Bro, first of all, you don't know what's going on from that standpoint." And second, when I saw Benjamin Albright saying part of this was true, I was like, "Oh Lord." I was just like, and that was probably the only analysis I saw that actually kind of agreed with it too.
Yeah.
Benjamin Albright for the Broncos. So, if that means anything to you guys probably understand what
Well,
I'm
and
talking
then what
about.
he said is right. Part
Part is true.
part is true. Um, Another analyst said the same thing. It was kind of strange to me last night that Vanderdam or how I can't pronounce his name, Vanderam or whatever. He had a Spaces, and weirdly enough, apparently the guy that wrote the article came on and talked his ear off, and Vanderam was putting all the blame on Mahomes. Apparently, from what I was told, I only was on there for about 30 seconds, and it was long enough for me to get off. But apparently Vanderam was putting all the blame on Mahomes, saying it wasn't the enemy. Other people in the media, people close to the team, have come out and said that it wasn't all the enemy, which you can't put the blame all on one person. There's multiple. I mean, there's so many.
The reason
It's
why
a
they lost the game because
Mm.
everyone struggled. I mean,
Everybody struggled.
it's a team game. You wins the team, you loses the team. Different things are
Yeah,
going to happen.
yeah.
You can't just really blame one person. You
No,
could
I mean,
arguably say steps should have been made by every single person in order to get it to a new standpoint, and that's not what happened. Everyone struggled.
yeah, and if it comes down to uh one person being a bad seed or a bad apple, then you throw that one away and you move on to the good apple. But as we've seen throughout the course of Andy's career, he's not one to give up on people a lot.
Oh yeah.
Um Usually ever. Bob Sutton.
Oh man, yeah, and that's
You know,
one thing I would say a fault. But Andy knows what he's doing. But I would
and he
say
knows what he's doing.
he
So I
knows what he's
mean,
doing. I don't agree with that move, but from this
yeah,
my standpoint, I go from that. So
yeah. I mean, he's one of those guys that he's loyal. He's very good to his people, and
mhm.
he treats everyone with respect. So that's what this team tries to do for the most part. They had a very good nucleus and a very good relationship with everyone for a very long period of time until really the end of last year and this year. This is when things kind of start. And when that starts to happen, that's when you have to make changes.
Yep.
Not, it doesn't necessarily have to be players. It could be personnel. It could be a lot of different things. But uh, I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, it's weird. It's strange. And it's gone now. So we'll just have to move on from there, and hopefully everybody take. I guess how I worded it on Twitter is just take it for what it is. Read into it what you will, and that's all I can say at this point.
Yeah.
Now, Chris Lamones.
Oh yeah. What's going on with that situation, man? Because I saw that I was kind of confused.
Apparently, he
What's
was
going on?
involved. Well, he was involved with the Alvin Kamara um, situation,
Mm,
and he was one of the ones that was involved with that fight here during the Pro
mm,
Bowl.
okay.
They're saying that he's now implicated in it, and I believe there's an arrest warrant for him, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to
Yeah,
check
I
this.
saw that on Twitter. Yeah, there's like
There is one now. Okay.
there's I think there might be, or they're saying they want to talk with him. One of the two.
Yeah. One of the guys here said that I know through the police department said that there was going to be one or will be one. I didn't put that out because it's not my business. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I was told that a couple of days ago. Actually,
Mhm.
maybe yesterday. I don't know. There was so much crap going on
Yeah,
yesterday
it
that
was a crazy couple days in Chiefs
yeah.
Kingdom.
So, but I kind of left it alone because we don't know the involvement that he had. We really don't know the involvement that Alvin Kamara had, for that matter.
Yeah.
Um, people will start a fight, especially here. I've seen it, and I know people that have had it happen to them. They will
Mhm.
start a fight in a bar or in a nightclub, and then if they see somebody with money, they will automatically put it on them because they've got a lawsuit with them.
Mhm.
Now there is supposedly video of this. None of the video's been. I mean, so far nobody's seen this video. I don't even think TMZ has video of it, so
Mhm.
it hasn't been released. So I really don't know what video is there and what isn't. If you can tell who's in the video, if you can't, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see what the investigation brings and what the guy in the hospital with the broken bones in his face. I mean, he's going to have to decide, what's true and what isn't, and move on from there.
Yeah, because we don't know, and like media, we're trying to figure out what's going on from that standpoint.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I've
I
made
mean,
some
and
calls, but
Chris Lamons was, I think he's primarily a special teams player, one of our gunners. So I mean, just kind of from that standpoint, it'd be interesting to see what's going to happen. I mean, I know Veach loves having guys that can play special teams.
yeah,
I'm just hoping from the standpoint when going for the future, we get guy. We're not getting guys solely to play special teams, but getting guys that can help contribute.
yeah, yeah, I
So
agree.
that's just my only thing with getting too many special teams guys.
I
But
agree.
also, man, another thing that interesting that happened was Nick Bolton got, I forgot, he won an award for like the best linebacker in the I think the league, or pretty close. One of those
It was
awards.
the something
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah,
Yeah,
mhm,
I can't think of the name of it right now.
the Mac Lee Award or
Mac Lee
something along
Award.
that one.
Yeah, he won that. Mahomes is doing something great right now. You can talk about that because you know more about it than I do. Um, you actually sent it to me. Because again, I was, I sometimes you have to have you do things. Oh, he's gonna attend the HBCU
Yeah.
Legacy Bowl, which is awesome.
Yeah, he's going to be joining. He'll be going there, and that's pretty cool because he's probably going to scout talent. I mean, seeing kind of what's going to happen from that standpoint, it's another opportunity to see, hey, what are the other players we can find? Because Mahomes, he's going to find players and he's to see,
Oh
okay,
yeah,
maybe this Chiefs should go after them. And like he wants CH, they got CH. So obviously they like his input, and Mahomes is the quarterback. And he's pretty successful, so he knows what he's doing. He sees different players week in, week out, and knows what he can do in order to bring them in from that standpoint.
correct.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's just been a lot of cool things that have happened with Chiefs Kingdom
Mm-hmm.
over the last few days as well, with Mahomes, with uh, Nick Bolton, and there was another. Tyron Matthew,
Yep, he got an award, I think, for the Chiefs, the
and
Derek Thomas Award, or I
Derek
think.
Thomas Award, which is they
That's
look.
awesome.
That's awesome. That's one of the most prestigious awards you can get, in my opinion, in all of football. But I am biased, but I still believe that is one of the most prestigious awards you can get. And look,
Hmm.
he deserves it. The dude
Oh yeah.
played his, despite what anybody wants to think about his tackles or whatever this year, he was still top 5 in the league, and I think he's one of the better individuals in the league, despite what people think. So for everybody out there that wants to trash him and talk shit on him, you might want to kind of chill that out because he's not a bad player. He's not definitely not a bad person. Definitely not a bad player, and he's really done a lot for this community
Yep.
and the kingdom. So
Yeah.
everybody needs to support these guys more than trash them out. But anyway, it's been pretty cool to see so many players from the Chiefs get so many accolades because it's well deserved. It's just been one of those years that
They had a battle for everything they got to, and from where the Chiefs started at being 3-4 and getting to the AFC Championship game,
yeah,
that's pretty good compared to what you see most teams go through.
yeah, definitely. I mean,
So
they battled through a lot.
mhm.
So
Yeah, so we're seeing that they battled through a lot and got to a certain point that most teams would have faltered. But it just shows how great this team is and what they can do.
exactly, the leadership with Andy and Veach and Clark Hunt, for that matter, have been phenomenal. Uh, Probably the best move. In fact, I think it is the best move Clark ever made was bringing in Andy,
Mhm.
um,
Yeah.
because he also brought in Veach.
Mhm.
So you got to look at it from that standpoint and think, man, where were we at in 2012? You know,
Oh man, 2-14 at the
2 and
bottom of the
14.
league.
Yeah. So, and we hadn't been in the bottom of the league in a long time. So
Mhm.
since the '80s, really. But it's nice to see that the good things that are coming out of the kingdom too,
Mhm.
not just all negative. But what else we got?
any moves that you think the Chiefs should be making this off season? Primarily, what are we looking at?
I know they're looking at wide receiver, and I know they're looking at D line.
Mhm.
That's for a fact, and I think they're looking at one corner. I mean, to fill one corner position. I think that's where they primarily need to lean towards. I don't know,
Mhm.
unless you find it, a lot of people, including myself, think maybe another running back would be good. But again, you need to find somebody that is just a standout above everybody else that we have, because I think
Exactly.
it would be a waste of money and time to bring in someone that you're not going to utilize. Um, we have more of a running back by committee style of football, with our running backs, and I think they all do a fairly good job. Um,
Mhm.
so if it was me, I mean, and I have heard that they're looking at D line, they're looking at cornerback, and they're looking at, and I did hear that they may be bringing in one more safety, or looking at another safety. I should put it that way. I
Would
can't say
you
bringing in one.
say trying to trade for Josh Allen from the Jaguars, the defensive lineman? Do you think the Chiefs try to trade for him?
Yeah, I think they will.
Mhm.
And I think that there's a couple other guys. There's an older player out there that wants to play another couple seasons, still has a lot of life left in him, and that's Calais Campbell.
Hmm.
And it would be interesting to see if the Chiefs actually went after Calais.
It'd be a cheap deal though.
It has to be a very cheap deal. But again, he's made all of his money. If he wants a ring, and he still seems like he has all the life in the world left in him. So I think
That's
he's
true.
36 years old, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
Um, it'll be nice to see, if that happens. I don't know if it will or won't. Veach normally doesn't go after older players like that
Hmm.
unless it's really a dirt cheap situation. Um, and again, I think a lot of it's going to have to do with what boils down with the coaching staff and um, things of that nature. The one thing that I do want to say, and I want to get this out of the way really quick, and this may sound weird to some people, but it's the facts. There, there's certain things that are said and done, especially by outlets or even just regular Twitter people. It doesn't matter who it is, to be honest with you, that can run a player out of this town and can also keep players from coming into this town. So everybody has to be mindful of that when they decide they want to go on and just bitch and complain about things that they have no control over.
Hmm.
You can critique, but don't, try not to be so damn mean, because honestly, nobody would want to come here and deal with that. We've seen a perfect example is Philadelphia. They've lost coaches, they've lost players, they've lost a lot of things. They lost a vice president that I know
Hmm.
because of that same reason.
Yep.
So it's just not worth it. I mean, it's just not. So with that being said, uh, I just wanted to get that out of the way because it was something I keep seeing all these tweets pop up, and sometimes it gets frustrating. But
No, you're good, man. You're good. I mean, it's the truth. I mean, what we've seen is the people are going after the players, and it just shows that it gets frustrating for individuals at times. And
yeah,
what we
yeah,
see from that standpoint is they just got to continue to power through. I mean, yeah, we want our team to win, and yeah, we're gonna be critical sometimes, but remember that we got to also look at the bigger picture, trying to get more people in.
yeah.
So,
We got to look at
so.
the future.
Mhm.
I mean, it's not just about right now. I mean, Veach and Andy both have been great about building towards the future,
Mhm.
and that's what they've been
Oh,
doing by
exactly.
picking up these futures contracts and bringing in,
Mhm.
rookies and people
Got
that
to.
he wanted in the draft and couldn't get, that have actually turned out to be great players. So
Exactly.
uh, you have to, he's missed a couple of times, but who hasn't? Um, it's just
Even
a matter
Belichick
of,
has missed.
yeah,
Even
everybody's missed. It's not,
Belichick.
yeah, it's not like
It's gonna happen.
yeah, it's not, there's no perfection to it, but Veach has gotten as close as anybody has, as far as I'm
Mhm.
concerned.
That is true. Very true from that standpoint.
It's all a gamble. Look, whether you're pulling somebody in from free agency or you're pulling them in from the draft, it's a gamble. You're putting down a bet on that person to be able to fit within the system, play with the players that we have, deal with the coaching staff, being able to perform, having the athleticism to perform in that level at the
Mhm.
NFL level, or
Mm.
in a different scheme level, and at a high level for that matter. So no matter how you look at it, you're placing a bet. You might as well go on your phone, go to MGM or betway.com and place a bet, because that's basically what the coaching staff and the scouts are doing.
Exactly.
Some are better at it than others. There's just like there's better poker players than there are others. No different. So you got to go from that standpoint,
Mhm.
and look at it like that. Veach is just very good at drafting and scouting for that matter. I mean, he's been really good at figuring out what fits within our scheme. And
Mhm.
Andy is right there with them. I mean, Andy and Veach both know exactly what they're doing. I put there's no quorums about it. There's um, no nothing about it. It's just they are who they are.
Yep. Exactly, man. Exactly. One thing, man, just to segue into something else. Did you get to look at the Chiefs' schedule that was put out, or just basically their opponents, home and away? Have you get a chance to look at it? Have you had a chance to
Oh,
look at their
no, I'm
opponents?
sorry. I apologize. I'm reading something.
All right. Well, we're gonna go and go over that then real
Go ahead.
quick. So they're home and away opponents. Which ones do you want? Do you want home or away first? Do you want home or away?
For what? I'm
The
sorry. I was
opponents.
reading something.
You're
I'm
good, man.
sorry. It was about that article. I
You're good,
apologize.
bro. You're good. Do you want? So we're gonna go over the opponents, home and away. Which one do you want to go over first?
Home.
Okay. So for the home, we're obviously gonna play the Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, Jaguars, Titans, LA Rams, Seahawks, and Bills. So those are our home. That's our home schedule. What would you say the Chiefs could probably go in that? Where we got? What do you think that their record could be?
Uh, I'm gonna say, what is that, 6? So that's, or
No,
no,
it's
that's
eight.
7. That's 8. So I would
Mhm.
say probably they could go 8-0, but I would say probably 7-1.
7-1.
Um,
I'm gonna say 6-2.
yeah. Um,
I see a loss possibly to the Rams and the Bills.
I don't know about the Rams. I'm a little
You don't
nervous
know?
about that team right now. I think they put all their eggs in one basket this year again, and I think they're going to lose some players. So
Mhm.
they don't have OBJ anymore. He's out for a year.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
that's true. Yeah, he
you
is
know,
out for pretty much most of the year.
yeah. So and then again with McVay losing all of his coaching staff, everybody, again, poor guy. He's
Mhm.
lost every one of his coaching. Um, every one of his coaches has went somewhere else, whether it be an OC head coaching job or something else. They're all gone.
Mhm. That's true.
So he has nobody left, and one took another one with him. Actually, one took two with him.
Yeah, I think
Um,
the guy who went to the Vikings took the defensive coordinator as well, I
yeah,
believe.
he did.
So,
He took the defensive coordinator and the quarterbacks coach, if I'm not mistaken. But that's why they're bringing in. That's why I believe Cohen is going to end up with the Rams.
mm,
I believe he's going back
that's
to
what
the
it's looking
Rams.
like. That's
Yeah.
what it's looking like.
Yep.
Mhm.
So, and we talked about that on the last show about Cohen.
Mhm.
Um, he was of course, a person of interest, but again, he's worked with McVay before, and I can't see why he wouldn't go back.
Yeah, it'll be something that will end up working out. I mean,
Yeah,
we'll see what happens from that standpoint, but that's good. Yeah, so yeah, you say 7-1, I say 6-2. I mean, it's gonna be interesting because you don't ever know how the Chiefs are gonna play. I think they have a really good chance, but we'll see what happens at the end of the day. All
yeah,
right, now for the away part. They got the Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, Texans, Colts, 49ers, Cardinals, Bengals, and then Buccaneers.
yeah. That man, that could actually just be a sweep. When you're really looking at who we're playing,
Mhm.
that could be a sweep. Um, can't guarantee it, but that could be a sweep. It's you got no more Tom Brady. Well, for now, he says he's not going back to the Bucks if he does play again. Which I have this weird, strange feeling he's going to be back. I don't know
Rumoring
why, but
stuff to
yeah,
get talked about.
yep. Um, I think that everybody else, I mean, unless they really vastly improve, I don't see how they could beat us.
Because
You
you look
know,
at the Colts, they don't really have. Looks like Carson Wentz is going to be traded or cut. 49ers are going to be looks like going to be rolling out with Trey Lance. I mean, the Bengals, I think the Chiefs could beat them seriously this time around.
Oh, I do
But looking
too.
at these other teams, I'm not really scared. I think the Chiefs may lose one game, but I could see them probably going. This is 9 games, so I can see them going 8-1,
Yeah,
8-1, 7-2 at the worst.
yeah.
So if you're looking at the total in the day, the Chiefs are losing anywhere between for me anywhere between 3 to 4 games. That's just my opinion right there. Moving into the season, so finishing at a spot of at a spot of 14-3, 15-2. I mean, or something along those lines.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
think
I'm
so
thinking
too.
of.
I think so
Mhm.
too. I think if everything, all the continuity comes back and we retain the players that we need to retain, bring in who we need to bring in, we definitely have a shot of, you know, I think I'll make my prediction now. I got a weird feeling this season has really put a fire underneath everybody's ass.
Mhm.
I got a weird feeling we're gonna be in the Super Bowl next year.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that as long as you have Andy Mahomes and the leaders on that team, you have a shot every year of going to
Mhm.
the Super Bowl. And I think the more you put under them, the more fire you put under them,
Mhm.
um, the better they get. We've seen that this year. Uh, they took a lot of flack and they rose from the depths of hell there for a little while, and they moved on and did really well. Um, what if we could rewind things and change the second half of that AFC Championship game? Of course we would,
Oh, for
but
sure.
there's nothing we can do about that. Time, you just have to move on from it and hope that they make the necessary changes to alleviate those issues, which I believe Veach and Andy will do. Um,
Mhm.
so I think this team has a really good shot at going to the Super Bowl again next year.
Mhm.
Uh, to make it 3 times straight, like we almost did, it's pretty tough to do. And when you have a window like ours, people say we have 2, 3 years. It's not really true. We actually have, you know,
Quite a few.
we have quite a few years left as in a window, which, it's crazy to think that people never really doubted the fact that the Patriots had a 20-year window of going to a Super Bowl. And they didn't go every year. They went 7 times?
I think
Six
so.
times.
Patriots went
No, they
about
went
6.
they went they went
They went
10.
like eight times.
They went
No,
10 and won 6, if I'm not mistaken. Well, with
yeah,
with Brady,
and then Brady won. Yeah, with the Buccaneers.
with
So
the
yeah.
Bucks.
Mhm.
So 10 times in 20 years is pretty strong.
Mhm.
If we can do 10 times in, Mahomes' last 20 years, that's great. If you last 15 years and we can go 7 times and
Mhm.
we can win 5 of those 7, I'm happy with that. I mean,
Yep.
and everybody else should be too. I'm happy with what we have right now. I mean, something that honestly I never thought I would see in my lifetime, because I've been around this team for so long and I'm old. I never thought I would see the team get to that point, but
Oh, for sure. We're like when we saw finally have Mahomes as the quarterback and as a coach. I
yeah,
mean, I was seeing things offensively that I know I never was going to see. Scoring a touchdown within the first minute of a game,
yeah,
driving around the field in 2 plays. I mean, just stuff like that. It just shows you how special this team is.
yeah. 200 yards passing in a quarter, 200
Exactly.
or
Yep.
more. A wide receiver that caught 200 yards in a quarter. Um, all of those things we never thought we would see here. Um, we always heard about it, with the Terrell Owenses and the Jerry Rices and Randy Moss and all those guys, but we never seen it happen in our neck of the woods, for us anyway. And we've got to witness it. We got to witness Tyreek Hill, 211 yards in a quarter, I think it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
Yeah,
You're like, wow,
yeah.
this is
Mahomes threw for
crazy to see.
226 in one quarter. I mean, that's insane. I mean,
Mhm.
who would have ever thought that would have happened okay, Mahomes' first season as a starter, he had 10 touchdowns in 2 games, 6 and
Mhm.
4. He went 6 in the first game and 4 in the second, I think, or
Mhm.
maybe vice versa, 4 in the first and 6 in the second. But he had 10 touchdowns in his first 2 games as a starter. So we've never had anything like that, man. I mean,
Mm.
going back to the
Yeah.
great Lynn Dawson, I don't think
Never
anything's
had
ever happened like that.
anything.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, Lynn was phenomenal and he brought us our first championship. So I would never knock that man because he played, a long time and played hard. But
Mm.
he, again, is a different era, of course. But we've never seen anything like Mahomes,
Mm.
and the league hasn't seen anything like him. As much as they want to compare anyone else in this league to him, there is no other player like him. There's just not. So I think my lucky stars every day we got him. It keeps me motivated in a lot of other ways besides just football. So I'd see us maybe going to the Super Bowl next year. Not maybe. I think we have a really good shot at it. What's your opinion on that?
I think, man, we have a really, really, really good shot of doing something huge.
Yeah.
When you're looking at the end of the day, looking at this team, the way Beach is constructed, I mean, man, JP, you've been saying this week in, week out, my friend. This man knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
You, JP, have predicted so many things saying this player will work here, and next thing we know, we see it happening here. It's
Yeah.
like the Last Dance meme, the Dennis Rodman saying, "Go here, he goes here." This,
Yeah.
it's like you said the same thing, man. So it just kind of shows you it just kind of shows you how everything works out. But from what I've noticed from that perspective is that Veach has been able to find these guys. Like you said, he will go to the middle of Montana. He will go to the high school game. He will go to the middle school game. He will go to that. He probably has gone to community college football games,
Guarantee he has.
like those ICCs, the EMCC teams like that, trying to find these good guys. And like, bro, this team, bro, if they can continue to produce what they've been doing, and then also have the ability to also draft, bring in players, etc. I know it's gonna hurt when we have to get rid of some players someday. But if we can keep doing that and keep the production going, my friend, we're gonna be in a spot like no
yeah.
other.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the whole point. I mean, look, nobody lasts forever. And at some point, you're going to lose a Travis Kelce as much as it sucks. It may be 5 years from now, but we are going to lose him at some point.
And Tyreek.
And Tyreek, it may be 5, 8 years from now, but we've already had him. He's been here since 15. So that's 7 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
So Tyreek Hill's been since 15. Kelce's been here since 13.
yeah. So Kelce's on his, he just finished his 9th season in the league. Tyreek just finished his 7th season in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Tyreek's strangely is only 26 years old.
I think like 20. Let me look up Tyreek's age.
I think he's 26 or 27 at the oldest. He may be getting ready to turn 27.
Tyreek Hill's 27.
27, yeah.
Yep. Travis Kelce.
I think he's 31.
32.
He just turned 32?
And October 5th. Yep.
Yeah.
5th.
Okay.
Yep.
So, Tony Gonzalez played till he was 37. Antonio Gates played until he was like 104. There's guys out there that can play forever.
I mean, but I think the thing Kelce has going for him, and what also Hill has, we have a good staff that knows what to do, how they need to nourish their bodies, help themselves, and plus they're always working the off season, so it's not like they're sitting there basically not doing anything and they're going to football mode where it's hurting their body. They're all around working. I remember I saw Tyreek Hill at that basketball game. And I saw this man dunk from the free throw line in the offseason, and this guy took off the shirt, and I got to stand next to him. This man is like Jack. So in the he's working and working and working. And this was before Mahomes went off as the first Mahomes went off. And it was like, dang, this team's about to do some craziness. They're about to do some really good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you look at our guys. I'd say he looks really good. And I saw him in the parade in LA is Aaron Donald. Dude,
if
for
we
30
get
years
someone
old,
like, he's doing good. I think he's like
20.
20. Let me look up his age. He's like 29
30.
or 20. Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's 30.
Let me see. Yeah, he's 30. I didn't realize he's 30. He moves like he's 25.
Yeah, man, he looks good. I think he's got I know he's talked about retirement, and I don't know, man. I think it's going to be hard for him to step away from this game knowing he can still play the way he produced.
Mm-hmm. If he comes to the Chiefs, I'm not going to complain, but that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah. I don't know if he'll come. I mean, the fact that McVay decided to come back. Probably, if anything, he may end up back there. There's so many free agents right now. And I don't know if he is a free agent or not. I don't think he is. I think he may have another year or two left on his contract. I'm not sure, but like Sue's a free agent. There's so many free agents out there right now that can come in and play in the system. It's going to be difficult for anybody to handle this. If we
Oh, for
sign the
sure.
right players, which we're good at doing,
Mhm.
it's going to be a tough team to beat for a long time coming.
Mm-hmm.
As far as the coaching staff is concerned, again, we did exactly what we thought was going to happen, to a degree,
Mm.
and there's going to be some more changes, I think. But right now, the way it looks, I don't know what's going to happen with Bieniemy. I really
Yeah,
don't.
it's that article was not helpful. It made it
No,
worse, in my opinion.
it did.
So,
Um,
and we've been a little critical, but we never went against the guy. We said obviously we didn't like some of the things, but we wouldn't be at certain spots without him. It's just
exactly.
like you said, there were other things that happened, but I mean, it is what it is. There's really nothing you can do from that standpoint.
No, I mean, look, there's times that ego and um, let's see, how should I word this?
It just works out different. At the end of the day, there's just some people need to go in different directions.
Personalities change. Let me just put it that way. Personalities change along with notoriety, and a lot of times notoriety will get you. It can change you in ways. It can change you for the better or the worse.
Mhm.
It's kind of similar to what okay, Matthew Stafford. He's at the parade. Woman just falls flat on her back on the sidewalk. He looks down at her. He turns around with a beer in his hand and just booked it straight out of the way.
I saw that and I was like, that is a bad look. I don't know
Yeah.
what. I'm not for sure. I don't even really know what to say about that situation. It does not look good what he
Well,
did.
I'd tell you what, it could have been this.
Was he that far out or?
No, I think it could have been. He was very close to her, actually. He was within about a foot or two of her. I'm under the assumption, because I don't think he's a bad guy,
Mhm.
that he's probably trying to avoid conflict. And when I say conflict, I mean, shit. If this lady decides to say I just knocked her down or tripped her, then I'm going to get sued. So if I get the hell out of the way, maybe I won't get implicated in something I shouldn't have.
Because it looked like his wife immediately ran to the fence or someone ran to the fence. So I don't
Yeah.
know what
Yeah.
happened in that standpoint. So,
Yeah. So
but
I don't know what happened to that lady. I don't know if she was just completely inebriated and fell.
well,
Nobody
she
knows.
was a team report. I think she was backing up to her to pick a picture and fell off. That's what happened. She didn't know where she was at and fell
Oh,
off.
okay. Well, then that's what happened.
Mhm.
And if that's the case, if she was a
Mhm.
reporter and he didn't help her up, that's a different story. Because I don't think a
Mhm.
reporter is going to go after him for knocking her down. But
Yeah, and I think she slipped on her own from what
yeah,
I saw, but I don't really know. We'll see what happens. The Rams will probably put out a statement or something
yeah, I
soon.
think that was kind of a shady move. I mean, we saw players pushing people in wheelchairs through airports and doing other things to help people when they get off a plane, and
Mhm.
um, it just is what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
when
So
that whole thing collapsed, who was it that was helping people up? People fell off of the thing and going into the tunnel, and
it's just escaping my
it was the
mind.
Philadelphia Eagles. It was
Yeah, Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. He's
Yeah,
helping
he was
people
helping
up.
people.
So
Yeah.
it just, I guess it's all depends on the person. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird situation, but I guarantee you, for everyone who wants to know, we'll see what happens in the next week or so.
Yeah, somebody will
Um,
put a statement out, or who knows.
yeah,
I didn't read the full story about it. I didn't know it was a team reporter.
yeah.
Um,
I think it was someone who worked with the team. I'm pretty sure because I'm pretty sure, but I could be wrong.
yeah,
But I mean, we'll see. We'll hope for that lady she gets healed because that's
yeah.
not fun falling,
No,
especially from where she fell at. So,
no. I
but
lost a friend years
mhm,
ago when I was a teenager.
mhm,
He was standing on a curb outside of an old bar in Independence. It was an old place. that all the kids, if you were 18 and above, you could get in.
Mm,
And he was waiting for a ride, and somebody just walked up and hit him,
mm.
and he fell. His head hit the curb. He died,
Ooh.
and it was instantaneous. He died right there on the spot. Uh, but it's like you never know if somebody's gonna die from I mean, just look what happened to uh, Dave Coulier. I mean, not Dave Coulier. The other one that was on Full House. I can't think of his name right
Oh,
now.
Bob Saget.
Bob Saget. I
Yeah,
mean,
what they were saying, he had head trauma or
yeah,
something.
he
It looks like
fell
he
and had
fell.
split his head open, and his head swelled up, and then the next thing you know,
Mm,
he's in bad shape. So or dead. So
mhm.
you don't know what kind of a and look, for anybody out there that wants to bitch and complain about somebody tackling, think about that. Regardless of a helmet or not, you fall, it's your own body weight that is going to kill you. Can you imagine if you got a 240-pound guy at full speed head first into your helmet? Or
Football is dangerous. Very,
football's
very
a dangerous
dangerous.
sport. So
Mhm.
don't complain when somebody gets a concussion or somebody's out or somebody hurts their knee because their knee went into somebody's helmet and it blew up their knee. That kind of stuff happens. I mean, it's a
Mhm.
rough sport. You play it hard, and your body gets stretched to the limit. So
Mhm.
all these
So.
players, they put themselves through hell to entertain everyone.
Mhm. Yep.
Um,
So.
but yeah, anyway, it's been a crazy week. It looked like
Yeah.
there for a while nobody was going to show up at the Rams parade. It almost looked like the 49ers when they came back from the Super Bowl there.
Yep. Yeah.
But then all of a sudden,
They got all them people came. So I mean,
everybody
they
came,
got
man.
some
I
fans
mean,
out there. So that's good for them.
it was great because there was one photo taken. It was an aerial photo. I tell you, the traffic had to have been backed up both directions at least 200 miles, if not more.
Ooh. 200.
Um,
Ooh, man, I
and if you've
cannot do
ever,
that.
yeah, no. And if you've ever been to LA, 200 miles backed up, you're talking about a 7, 8, 9 hour sit
Mhm.
minimum. And that's on a normal day. That's not during a
Mhm.
parade.
Yeah, I
So
don't have any plans to go to LA and drive through that.
it blows. It blows. I've been there at 10:30 at night, and I had 4 miles to go, Caleb. Four
Mm,
miles to my exit. Been driving forever from Vegas, to get there.
mhm.
And well, it's not that long. It's 4 hours, but you'd think it is. They say it's 4 hours, but until you hit the traffic. But it was at 10:30 at night, dude. Bumper to
Woo.
bumper traffic. We were going so slow that it wouldn't even register on the car. It said we had 4 miles to our exit, and it took us 45 minutes to get 4 miles.
Cannot do that.
No,
Cannot do it. Do
no.
not want to.
So not fun. No place I'd ever want to live. It's becoming actually a little mini LA here.
Mm.
And
Everybody's moving there. You
everybody's
got
moving here, and that's why all of us are moving out. So it is what it is, and you get to that point where you just like, man, I don't want to do this no more.
yeah,
So you move on.
yeah.
It just kind of is what it is. But with that being said, we wanted to do a quick show on an early show. Caleb had some time early today, and so did I. So it we just wanted to get our word in to a degree, and what we said on our prior shows. If you want to listen to them, then you'll know.
Yeah.
If
We
you,
say everything
yeah, everything that we
that
or
we know.
that we
Well,
know.
JP finds out. JP that finds out and then puts on
Well,
here.
uh, we don't go overboard. We don't go, and we're not going to say anything, even if we do know it, and it's something that I don't, we don't feel is appropriate to put out. We're not going to put it out. So I hope you guys can understand that and appreciate that, because that's not only a detriment to the team, it's a detriment to the city, it's a detriment to the players.
Mhm.
Don't want to do that. So anyway, regardless, I think that's about it, man. I don't think we got anything else. Do you?
I think we're good to go, bro. I think we're all good. Covered everything. We'll probably
Yep.
do something this weekend for everybody. Try to figure out. We'll work at our schedules. But yeah, I think we're all good there.
Yeah. Maybe we can do a spaces between now and the weekend and see what we can do.
Mhm.
And
We'll for sure have something for you guys on Sunday.
definitely. So with that being said, I hope everybody has a great rest of your weekend or week. Your non-red Friday and your weekend.
Mhm.
I know it sucks there right now. You guys are getting a lot of snow.
No, and it was still. I think it's stopped. Oh, it stopped snowing. Okay, yeah, it stopped snowing. So
Oh,
that's good. But
sucks. It's well, it was windy here,
mm.
65, but it was windy. It's going to be 70 tomorrow. I just want to rub that in. Anyway,
Well, you know what? Ha 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 ha. Whenever
hey,
you move back here, I'm gonna
I
be like,
know.
good luck. I'm
I
making
know.
fun of you.
Oh, dude,
So
I'll be cold for 3 years. I'm free.
probably.
When it's 65, I'm cold. So my wife
Mm.
teases me all the time. She goes, "What the hell's wrong with you? Why are you always cold? It's only 65 outside." And she goes, "Yeah, it's 65."
Mhm.
I know. Well, when it's 110 for 5 months straight,
Mhm.
that's what you get acclimated to. And then when it drops down to 65, 50, whatever the degree, we don't get, crazy low temperatures here, but we get into the high 20s, low 30s at night sometimes. Holy mother of God, dude, you walk outside and it's like, what, I just go back home? I
Yeah,
mean,
it's cold. I
it's
can see that
cold,
becoming a problem.
Yeah, your body just changes. So uh it's different, but I'll be glad when I'm out of here, to be honest. It's a different place to live and used to be great, but it's not
Mhm.
anymore. So, but anyway, with that being said, I hope everybody has a good weekend, and we will talk to you Sunday.
Yep, sounds good. See you
All
next
right.
time, Cheese Kingdom.
Peace out.